you, committee members, for letting us speak today. The Libertarian Party of Michigan commends the legislature for taking up this issue of allocating electors by the percentage of votes cast, as it has some merit to better represent the will of the people. As written, though, it has unequal benefits and is discriminatory. Article 1, Section 1 of the Michigan Constitution states all political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. House Bill 5974 fails to live up to this mandate. If the goal is to implement a proportional representation scheme, then all candidates should be equally allocated electors, and not just the top two. In other words, 100% of the votes divided by 16 electoral votes, that would be 6.25%. So any candidate getting 6.25% should get an elector. Under that simple math. As the legislation is written, though, it would discriminate against independent and minor candidates. And there were 5 parties on the ballot 2 weeks ago. So, using the formula that excludes those votes disenfranchises those voters. In the 2012 presidential election, there were 51,136 voters who would have been ignored under this proposal. And as you know, as been stated in prior elections, there were 3 presidential candidates to split the vote. So all 3 of them should have received some electoral votes. However, the current winner-take-all system also fails to protect the rights of every voter to have an influence on the selection of electors. And the alternative mentioned before, the national popular vote, would also be a poor representation of the public unless ranked choice for approval voting is used. Instituting ranked choice voting would be a big improvement over the antiquated winner-take-all system that we've been using for centuries. Current best practices and electoral system science show that ranked choice or approval voting allows voters a better choice of candidates. You can see more information on the Wikipedia voting system site. There's a lot of different voting systems. These are the top 2. There's no reason for us to be using this system that's shown to be unequal and not represent the people. First past the post is not used in most of the modern economic industrial societies. But it's encouraging to see this issue before the legislature, because it is an important issue of enfranchising the voters and give everyone more representative voice in the process. However, since all the legislatures are members of the 2 parties who are writing the legislation and who is the only ones affected, that seems like a conflict of interest. As other speakers have said, any changes to the electoral college vote system or general election system in general should be brought before the voters to decide. And the electoral college system is primarily a federal issue anyway. The states are only allowed to determine the manner of appointing electors, not actually how they can vote. So that's an important point to keep in mind too. Ideally, all the states would use the same system of proportional representation, and I support Andy Shore's recommendation that you petition the Congress to changes for all the states at the same time. But enacting the legislation as written is unethical. It violates the first section of the Michigan Constitution I quoted earlier, and it would exclude entire classes of voters from equal participation in the electoral process, and certainly would be grounds for civil rights challenge. For those reasons, I urge this committee to revise the proposed legislation to better reflect the will of the people and provide equal benefit to the political power of every individual. And the Libertarian Party of Michigan would support the proportional representation if approval voting was included. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you.